What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I welcome all questions and comments you have for me this evening. We're coming up on 7 o'clock. Got the Sixers game coming. I'm excited for that. But going to try to make this short and sweet. We're going to get right to the point here. You guys know that we try to spread the truth around here. There's a lot of clickbait, a lot of hot takes out there, a lot of nonsense that we don't really like to get into. You know that yesterday we talked about the fact that they just keep bringing up Deshaun Watson, and yeah, he's dealing with some things right now. Why don't we just let him work that out? Then you guys can write your articles about that. Regardless, so today we get ourselves a doozy, quite a doozy. This article, now, if you see who wrote the article, you know, that's where you have to kind of gauge where you take this information that you're given. You take everything with a grain of salt, but looking at this organization, where the issues have been and things that we've talked about for the past year, and then some. I keep trying to explain to people that it begins at the top with Jeffery Lurie, and everybody wants to ignore that fact. That's their best friend. He owns the Eagles. That's understandable. But Howie Roseman seems to be the one that gets the blunt of things, and rightfully so. He has definitely had his fair share of mistakes here. So rightfully so there. But let's be real. I have been trying to clamor that it starts at the top. How the hell can we allow Jeffery Lurie to let Howie Roseman to run roughshod on this damn team? So, well, today we got ourselves that article, and boy, oh boy, does it kind of just seem like, yeah, that's what is happening, guys. That's exactly what we've been talking about. So let's get a little into it. Trey, my man, thanks for tuning in today, dude. Yes, it looks like I might just have a job opportunity for Eagles GM coming up soon. I will be applying, but yeah, we'll work our way into those ranks. Don't worry, Trey. We will get there, and we will get this ship sailing in the right direction one day. But for now, we're dealing with what we got, and I try to stay positive. We talk about the talent in this upcoming draft. We talk about how excited I am for Nick Sirianni, excited to see Jalen Hurts as QB1, but you can't overlook the biggest elephant in the effing room. And that's Jeffery Lurie just allowing Howie Roseman to do the things that he's done, and everyone just pointing the finger at Howie. I don't understand it, and I've been asking for people for months to pay attention to the fact that this is kind of scary. I read a good article before I came on, and it's just hilarious to see some of this stuff. But the reason I read it was because, well, first off, I love Mike Kay. I really appreciate his work. But it was something about him, Jeffery Lurie, comparing him to Jerry Jones. And it was like, if that's not the nail on the head right there, that's exactly what you're seeing here. I get it. Look, if the Eagles were my team, if I were given that much money when I was born and handed and been able to buy a football team, dude, I would totally have myself in that business, but it would be to an extent. You have to understand there are boundaries, man. You have to understand that there are professionals that you are literally hiring and paying to do these jobs that you are now yourself doing or letting Howie Roseman do. And you can see what's happened. Someone had mentioned earlier today on Twitter, they're like, oh, you don't know what you're saying. This team's great. We won a Super Bowl a few years ago, and it's just a couple bad drafts. I wish that were true. I really do. But there's a reason we won a Super Bowl and then we never saw greatness again. We snuck into the playoffs, loved it. We talked about having that fighting spirit. I love to see the players do that. I love to see the coaches. I love to see that people are fighting. That's what we want from our birds, right? Well, when you're not getting that from management, it kind of pisses you off, as it does me. Oh, it just drives me nuts. Our fans need to do the work. The Red Sox are a key example of how fans can dictate management moves. Yeah, man. Jonathan, I'm going to be real with you. I will not stop kicking down the door here. I told Howie Roseman when I met him a couple years ago that one day I'd be working with him. I think what I should have told him was one day I will take your effing job. My God. It drives you insane to see the things that I did in this article. And it talks about, Howie Roseman, his paranoia, who's leaking all this information. So apparently he's freaking out telling people he's going to be going through their phones. And look, I get it if you don't want people leaking stuff, but if this is the kind of disconnect we have in this organization, that's not good. At one point in the article, they mentioned that Brian Dawkins had to come in and give a pep speech to the effing front office. Okay, what? What? No. I need Stone Cold. What? I don't. Or was that Farouk that did that? See, I didn't watch wrestling at the time, but I know there's a what out there, and it was damn for Ron Simmons. That's right. See, brain still works sometimes, but dude, it's damn. It's what? What? Damn. I don't. Why? So apparently Howie, he's going crazy, paranoid. I think we all assume that, but apparently winning the Super Bowl went, a little too far for him. He's taking it too far. The power trip is going crazy, and now it's turned into a name they dropped in here. I believe he's the vice president of football operations and statistics. Yeah, sure. Alec Halaby, I believe the name was. Apparently, he is Howie Roseman's right-hand man. And the part of the article, it said something about like he's the kind of guy that, football nuts scoff at, like he's never played football in his life, but he's played Madden. He's got the analytics down. He's got those numbers for you. And look, analytics, I like it. It helps the game. There's definitely, you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt, though. I think it helps, but oh boy. So now there's a new name thrown into the mix that people are going to hate, this Alec Halaby. I don't really know the guy, so I can't sit here and hate on him, but doesn't sound like things are going well. It sounds like he and Howie are just doing whatever they want. And that Jeffery Lurie is just allowing this. So Norman Bremen all over again. My dad used to bitch about that all the time. So yeah, people don't want to point fingers, at Jeffery Lurie, but I'm going to be real with you. I've been saying this since last year, and everybody, don't you dare point fingers at Jeffery Lurie. This is Howie Roseman's team. It's like, well, it's not, but there is someone letting Howie Roseman do this to our team. So here we are. And it's just, it's crazy that we're here, like talking about this, because we've talked about this already. So here it is in an actual report. And it's like, what? So apparently another thing, 1 year after Doug Peterson got the coach, they were already willing to fire him. They were thinking about getting rid of him, apparently, and letting Jim Schwartz take over as head coach. You guys remember that they were very adamant about Jim Schwartz being hired as the defensive coordinator because of the fact that he had been a head coach. So he had the experience. They thought that mattered. Picket fence he brought with him, apparently. Well, I'm getting pissed just talking about it, but it's like, what? And then we win the Super Bowl that year. Like, huh? That's enough to drive you mad. I'll be real with you guys. So almost got rid of him. And then they wanted to get rid of Frank Reich as well. We all know who Frank Reich is, who helped us win that Super Bowl, now head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Doing pretty well. Pretty good coach. Apparently, Howie and Jeffrey didn't like him and wanted to get rid of him. There was even a point in the article where they asked why Doug Peterson wasn't passing the ball more. We all know last year, well, boy, oh boy, you could see it in Doug's face. He was passing like his job depended on it. Well, and it looked like it did. So it seemed like they just kept pushing Doug Peterson further and further closer to the door until the man was finally just ready to stop. I will never stop watching, never stop caring, but I will let them know right here with this. That's exactly how I'll let them know. Lurie will have to listen when I don't go and I just watch it from TV. That's how I'll do it. But I'll always love my birds. It's about this for me. Not about who owns it, not about who plays for it. And I'll back the people that are there, but I'll also come after them when they're sucking at their jobs. Player, management, owner, water boy, ticket sales guy, don't care. I'll come for that ass. So Howie Roth is what I call him. Yeah, man, it's bad. Let's be real, but it's Jeffery Lurie here, and everybody's tried to look past that, and I refuse to. And now I'm glad this report came out because, well, let's just finally get to the bottom of the problem. Our owner, he's got his nose in business he shouldn't. my man Plume. I'd like to know what your real name is so I don't have to keep calling you Plume. But, dude, I appreciate you always tuning in, always commenting. I appreciate all of you for tuning in today. Truly do. You guys have anything you want to talk about? We don't have to just talk about this, but it's just ridiculous, and they get mad. And look, I get mad when there's just clickbait and stupid stories, but I want to know when there's something actually going on. This is the kind of stuff I want to get the meat and potatoes on. What's going on behind closed doors? And, when they're out here, don't worry, everything is perfectly fine. Nothing to see here, guys. Nothing to see here. We're just going to work. That's all. That's all this is. Oh, it's not. It's not. So, I'm going to sit here and I'll be positive about the 11 draft picks we have. I'll be positive with Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, but I'm also going to be positively scared shitless when this draft comes, because they talked about last year's draft and what it consisted of. And it consisted of Jeffery Lurie, Howie Roseman, Doug Peterson, and Andy Weidl sitting on a Zoom call. And it said that the scouts and coaches were very confused, just say that word, as to what was going on with the first 3 draft picks last year. So your own team doesn't know what you're doing. Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. And it just, like I said, you guys know that I will not, talk about the clickbait, and I'll smash it if it is clickbait. We'll talk about it, but it's like, this is the real deal, guys. This is exactly what we've been talking about, exactly what I feared. The fact that he's letting Howie Roseman do this, and there's no repercussions. He thinks that it's a good thing. He thinks all these analytics, this is, he knows what he's doing. This is the smart thing to do. As you can see, my team has fallen apart since winning the Super Bowl. Everyone gets hurt all the time. Like, what? Am I the only one confused here? Because I'm kind of confused. Everything is not fine. It's not fine. As you can see, there's a fire. There's a large fire behind you guys. Even a little bit of fire going on inside the windows there. Please, God, put it out. I don't know how that's going to happen, but please, God. They got some Moneyball analytics dude in the building, and it's going wrong. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. If you missed it earlier in the video, Alec Halaby is the name, I believe, Vice President of Football Operations and Statistics. Oh, fantastic. What? I've been talking about Andy Weidl and how much of importance he needs to be in this draft and having a say, but it sounds like old analytics Alec here is the one that's been pissing us off. So I'm not trying to point any hatred towards someone or have you guys going after this dude, because I know some people get a little bit wild with this stuff. But yeah, there's some issues here, guys. And if they're not listening, what have we talked about, right? The fact that, and I'm not trying to knock anyone that's never played the sport of football. Some people can't, some people, whatever, dude. Who cares? Whatever. Maybe you didn't. Who cares? My point is, when you do something, it kind of gives you a better understanding of it. It's just, I don't know, man. When you play, like I played receiver, I played corner and safety. I was a kick returner. I understand those positions better than I understand the defensive line. Now I do my studying. I try to learn everything, but it's going to take me maybe a second longer to think of an answer than it would when you're talking about wide receivers. So it's like you want guys that know what they're doing. So you have scouts, guys that know what they're looking for. And if you have an idea of what your team is, which we don't right now, you give your scouts an idea of what you're looking for. We're not doing any of that. Just go ahead, look at a bunch of people, let us know who you like, and we're going to completely ignore it. What are you paying them for? I mean, I'd be happy to cash a check, but I'd still at the end of the day be like, what the fuck? I told you that DK Metcalf, Justin Chip. All right, dude, but because you popped in Madden one time and made a really cool effing trade. Oh, yeah, I don't know what's happening to this world, guys, but now it's actually bleeding into football and it's taken over. And we talked about this, back in my day. Like I was always good with numbers. That was something I was good with math in school and stuff. Like but I never liked numbers. I was never like, ooh, I'm going to go be an accountant. I should have. Holy hell. Apparently that's how you get into football. Just be good with numbers and you could be a lawyer, stuff like that. But football doesn't seem to be one of the things that is needed to be on the resume. I I don't understand. I don't. And like I said, this is not a knock on anyone that has never played the game. You could know a lot about the sport, a lot of studying, a lot of tape watching. Hey, you could probably know a whole hell of a lot. My point is, you shouldn't be trying to talk over. Okay. A lot of GMs have never played football. A lot of these people just have a lot of money or jobs with money, privileged people. That's fine. My point is, though, if you're hiring people that actually do know what they're talking about and do understand the sport of football, maybe you should listen to them. That's me. That's just me. But I think if I'm playing football, I want guys that understand football. But that's me. That's just me. Analytics should only support scouting reports. And that's exactly it. Pete, my man. Now, Pete, let's be real here. That's exactly what we talk about all the time. I like numbers. I like being able to look at certain things, and it can help you look at certain things a certain way. But you can only hold on to these things with a grain of salt. You can't base your entire thought process off, well, I saw these numbers. This guy was ranked the 32nd because of this. And it's like, some of these analytics are really in-depth too, which is so cool, man, that they get so in-depth. But they mean absolutely nothing. I mean, play fantasy or, bet some money, do whatever. If these guys knew exactly what was going to happen every time, if the same thing that happened last time they played the last team or this or that, if that's how it was going to work every time, well, we'd all be millionaires watching shows of people tell us how to win. That's the nature of the beast, though. And I love it. You never know. It's any given Sunday. Well, nowadays, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever. You get the drift. Back in my day, Fridays, baby, Friday Night Lights. Now, I'll be real with you guys. This sucks. I don't want to have to talk about how much this organization is on fire right now, but, well, it's been. We've just kind of covered it up with the curtain. There's nothing to see here. It's actually perfectly fine when, honestly, we should be trying to put this damn thing out. So we got to let them know that we see it and we know it. We've been calling for Howie, and Jeffrey loves it. It's hilarious. Jeffrey, now the people are on to you. They didn't want to listen to me, but they will probably listen to this article here. So yes, you will be held accountable. That's what we've been talking about all offseason and actually last season. Accountability. When is someone going to hold someone accountable? And I don't want Nick Sirianni to just be this puppet. And look, I'm sure they brought him in because of that, because they could dig their claws at him. That's something we talked about. But I'm hoping he's his own man. I'm hoping he goes out there and he, is a great coach. And I just hope he can stand up to these guys. And I'm hoping maybe they, have some counseling between themselves. I don't know, dude, and figure out the fact that they need to stick to their jobs and see that there are literally professionals that can help them. If they want to have a say, I get it, man. It's your team, and you should. I mean, we should all be working together. That's how a team works. These people seem like they're working against each other, always trying to one-up each other, and that pisses me off. So don't like to see it, man. I don't. But here, let's show you something else just to distract you guys here. I wanted to know, what are you guys thinking about these new hats? Put the old flat style for you young kids out there still rocking your flat brim hats. I don't know, man. I saw some people ragging on it pretty hard. I mean, it's not something I would wear. Not a huge fan of the trucker hat myself, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think it's as bad as some people are making it out to be, but it's all right. But I just thought I'd distract you with that one last thing so you wouldn't have to think I was just talking about pure garbage the whole time. Because I hate talking about this stuff. I have to, though. I have to talk about stuff that's actually happening. Yeah, it's not for me either, Pete. I'm going to be real with you. I'm good, but hey, there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't wear. That a lot of, you know what I mean? So I'm not somebody that cares. I don't judge people for their neck beards or how they public speak. It's not my thing, man. I actually like trying to be kind to people. I know. Crazy thing in this world. It's wild. Don't like any of the draft hats. Yeah, I have last year's. I thought last year's was pretty awesome looking, the whole neon kind of thing. That was the one I actually enjoyed. I got that as a gift, though. Maybe that's why I liked it more than usual. But no, it was a nice hat. I like that one. But yeah, I not a big fan of that one. I'm going to be real with you. Jay Schwain, usually don't like the draft hat. I actually do like the trucker style this year. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not that bad. And I mean, it's not that I hold anything against people that wear trucker hats. I really don't care what you wear. I don't. you guys can tell, you see me on here every day. If I cared about my appearance, I would probably do something about it. But not one of those people that can get into that kind of stuff. I got way too many things to do in a day than to worry about that kind of stuff. So, yeah, but those hats, if you like them, then that's for you, man. But here at the show, it seems like the fans and we're not taking them. So you keep your hats yourself. All I want to see come draft day is you make some awesome draft picks. You make some awesome draft picks, I'll buy the hat. I'll be excited. I mean, just do a little something for me, because we put all of our heart and soul into this. I think that's where, Eagles fans, we always get the brunt of it, and you hear the media, everybody's always talking trash, other fans, and it's like, they don't understand our passion. It's like we invest 100% into this team. So when we have to deal with stuff like this all the time, it drives you insane. It's going to piss you off. And look, not everybody is like this. And not every Eagles fan is even like this. Not everybody can have a show where they talk about the Eagles every single day. Not everybody has love for the Birds, but you, the diehards, know exactly what I'm talking about. We lose, the week's ruined. We win, we're celebrating till next Saturday. I mean, it's just, you guys know my story. About I was born into it. My father being buried in his Reggie jersey. It's in the blood. And that's how diehards roll, man. So when we have to hear stuff like this, that the owner, the guy that owns our team, the team that we root for, it's technically his because he owns it, but you know what I mean. We bleed green. We'll just say that. That's as simple as I could put it, man. And just hearing this kind of stuff, it breaks your heart, man. We just won our first Super Bowl. I waited over 30 years for that, and it was glorious. I want to feel that again. Now, it'll never feel the same as the first time, but hey, maybe it'll feel a lot better when they just keep adding on to that trophy case. So we as fans just want to see this team get back to some kind of normalcy, and well, it just hasn't been that. So it hurts deep down inside. We have every right to be pissed off. So Jeff, Hal, you guys need to step it on back. Figure out that there are professionals hired to do their jobs for a reason. Let them do those jobs, and let's see what happens to the team then. Maybe then we're not talking about busts and all this other crap, and you just telling us everything is fine. Because it's not. It's not. All right, guys, I'm going to get rolling out. Got a bunch of stuff to do. Oh, my God, I didn't even realize it was past 7. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. If you need anything, you can always reach out to me. If you want to talk some birds, you want to talk about life, whatever it is, always feel free to reach out. I love just talking to you guys about anything. And those of you that do, I truly, truly love the friendships I've made, the family I have gained through this, man. It is awesome. You guys are awesome. So thank you for all the likes, subscribing, retweeting, all that stuff you guys do to support me. Truly means the world. You take care too, Pete. Glad I don't have to call you Plume anymore. You have a great day. All of you have a great week. And I'll be back tomorrow with any kind of wild articles or any other news that happens. All right, guys, have a good one. And as always, go Birds!